Welcome to Cubs baseball here on Marquee Sports Network. Here tonight, it's the Brewers and the Cubs. It is Game 3, the series finale. Welcome into the broadcast booth. John Shambi and Jim DeShays. Elise Menaker will join us coming up. JD, Cubs have now dropped 4 in a row. They've lost the first 2 of this series. What the heck's going on?
Yeah, well, Cubs are kind of at a low point in the season. They've been scuffling, and they've run into a hot Milwaukee team that has won 15 of their last 20 ball games. In this series, they jumped all over Shota Imanaga in Game 1. Last night, the story, Jacob Misiorowski, he of the 101-mile-an-hour fastball, shut the Cubs down. So the Brewers win the first 2, outscoring the Cubs 14-5. You see a lot of ugly numbers on that graphic, but a chance to salvage one here tonight.
Pitching matchup, the lefty Kyle Harrison will go for the Brewers, and on the other side, Edward Cabrera will toss for the Cubs.
Yeah, salvaging one won't be easy. Kyle Harrison with a 2.09. He's been on a real nice roll of late. Cabrera, just the opposite. He struggled here lately. Last 3 or 4 starts, he's had a hard time getting deep into the game. A 4.06 ERA. You see that 2.09 for Harrison, the left-hander. And well, good bit of news for you. Carson Kelly's been swinging the bat pretty well here lately. He's been pretty consistent all year long. Over his last 5 games, he's 7 out of 16, batting .438. He actually leads the club in on base. He's got a .389 on base percentage. So good work here from Carson Kelly. Hopefully he can continue that here tonight, because they got a lefty on the mound, and against left-handed pitching, Mr. Kelly has been lights out. .372, .481, and a .581 slugging percentage.
All right, Cubs hoping to find a way to eke out a win in the series finale. It is Mexican Heritage Night at the ballpark. They are lined up. I mean, on Gallagher Way, they chant keys, keys, keys.
These days.
Welcome back. Brewers and Cubs coming up. Time for Keys to the Game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Yeah, we need Big Smooth to go along here tonight. He's been scuffling lately. His last 4 starts, a 5.91 ERA, just 21 innings in those 4 starts. Bauer's outage. Jake Bauer's having a heck of a run for the Milwaukee Brewers, including a 10-game hitting streak in which he's batting .432. So they need to quiet that bat down. And how about early and often? Score some runs early and add on. Make it easy for Big Smooth to go deep into this game.
Edward Cabrera on the mound. He'll take the bump. We'll have lineups at first pitch when we come back. Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by the Bob Locurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. By Circus Sports. And by your local Hyundai dealer. Find the dealer nearest you at buyhyundai.com. Back at the ballpark as we get ready for baseball. Brewers and Cubs. Time to send it downstairs and say hello to Elise Menaker.
Hey, Boog, you know, when you've had the injuries that you have had to this pitching staff, it's really nice to get a guy like Caleb Thielbar back. We hadn't seen him since April 23rd. Last night, he goes out for an inning, doesn't give up a run. Let's show you. It's our Motorola Razr replay. So when I talked to him before the game, he said that he felt good. The movement, that's in a good spot. Overall, it's just about getting that feel back. Now, funny thing is, he felt in the rehab outing he was actually closer to that feel, because sometimes he said when you're going through the rehab, you just don't have that feel. Last night, he actually said, I think I took a step back because with the adrenaline, pitching at Wrigley again, but not to worry. Overall, he feels he's in a good spot. It might just take a little bit longer than usual. So it's just that reminder that, yes, you're back healthy, but sometimes, Boog, you're just not quite that pitcher that you were when you were pitching consistently.
All right, so Cabrera has got his hands full against a very good Brewers lineup, and we take a look at the right hand.
Yeah, the big guy, he throws hard, but he relies on his changeup more than any other pitch, and it's a really good one. It's been a bit of a bumpy ride for him, 3 or more runs allowed in each of his last 7 starts. Despite that, the Cubs are 7-2 in his 9 starts. He personally is 3-1 with a 4.06 ERA.
Let's check out the Brewers lineup. It is brought to you by Ford and by Patrick Murphy. Jackson Churio leads it off, followed by Bryce Turang and William Contreras. It'll go Yelich, Mitchell, and Bowers, Frelick, Ortiz, and Hamilton. Hamilton will play third base here tonight. With Edward on the mound, Abby and the Cubs teaming up to strike out cancer Roughly 241 Americans are diagnosed with cancer every hour. For each Cubs strikeout at Wrigley this season, AbbVie will donate $241 to Cubs charities. AbbVie, people, passion, possibilities. And here comes Jackson Chourio to the plate. The Brewers have taken the first 2 in this series. See the numbers on Chourio. Only 13 games since the beginning of the year. He was hit in an exhibition game for Team Venezuela in the WBC. First offering of the game. And that one misses, says Alex Tosi.
I don't know, Alex. I think Alex is 0 for 1.
Yep, that got the top of the zone. That is in there for a strike.
Sinker at 97. So he's going to throw the 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. Change up, you'll see it about 92, 93 miles per hour.
And there's the curveball. Velocity's down a little bit. We've touched on that. Cabrera working fast. 1-2. And that's way outside. Cabrera and Carson Kelly, the battery. Comes a 2-2. On the ground softly. Bregman in and to his left. The move, he throws him out.
You don't have a lot of time to right yourself and make that throw with Chourio going down the line. It's a very speedy Brewer team. They put a lot of pressure on the defense. Nice play here by Bregman. Big Smooth off to a good start.
There's Bryce Turang now. 1 away. And that curveball in for a strike. Turang this season off to an excellent start. And that slug right up there around 500. Up the middle and past the diving Nico Horner. Base hit, Bryce Turang. 6th in the National League in F-WAR coming into the day's play.
Batting .333 against right-handed pitching. Just beyond the dive of Nico, who, even if he gets it, he's not going to throw Turang out. But you know Nico, he's going to lay out if he thinks he's got a shot.
First one to Contreras in for a strike. Look at that pink glitter belt he's rocking. All right.
Yeah, I want to get some rainbow cone.
Yeah, matching the spikes.
Michael Busch employing that tactic of playing off the base and then kind of deking back to the bag on Turang.
That one hit in the air, center field. It'll fall for a hit. PCA picks it up, flips it in. Turang stops at second, and with 1 out, there are 2 aboard.
Well, Edward Cabrera has not yet allowed a first-inning run this year, but that's under some pressure here. This breaking ball backs up on him, but Contreras doesn't hit it all that hard. But just floats it out there in the shallow center, and the Brewers with a threat here early.
And now here's Christian Yelich. So a couple of hits, neither of them hit hard. Yelich, as per usual here at Wrigley, greeted by the chorus of boos. Line drive left field, that's Happ, and he's got it. And there's 2 away. And the batter now is Garrett Mitchell. No score here, top of the first. And the numbers for Mitchell, he's done a good job getting on base. runs well. He's got Turang at second and Contreras at first. Up the middle, and Swanson will take it himself. Steps on the bag, and the inning is over. The Cubs will come up to hit when we come back. Well, it's a chilly night here at the ballpark, and the wind will be a factor, I'll say. Don't hit it to left. -40. Left center is not a ton better. Cubs lineup: Horner, Bregman, and half the top three. And then Suzuki, Kelly, and Bush, Swanson, Amaya, and PCA rounding out the lineup. And that group will go up against Kyle Harrison.
Kyle Harrison, a former top prospect of the San Francisco Giants, has made his way over here to the Brewers via a couple of trades, and he's been really good. Third-round pick of the Giants in 2020 out of high school in California. Strikeout rate among the best in the business, 30% K rate, and the hard hit rate is well below average. Kind of a low three-quarters arm slot, can climb the ladder with that four-seam fastball. Touch 98, average right around 95, curveball into change.
And that is ball two. Nico, last 15, just 183 and only 2 extra base hits. And there's a strike, top edge of the zone, just barely. Maybe not. The 2-1.
Yeah, that's borderline too. His delivery is kind of choreographed, isn't it? The way he does is like step 1, ball and glove. Step 2, hands to face.
Line drive. Step 3 into the corner. Nico around first, making his way to second. Horner around second, and he'll put on the brakes. Oh. He tried to go back into second, feet first, and then kind of got stuck.
Good swing of the bat here. Horner in the corner for a double. It's brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. Only 20-year and 200,000-mile warranty on every new car. Yeah, he got to the point of almost to the point of no return, and then slammed on the brakes and awkwardly back into second. Enjoying a laugh there with Bowers, who was trailing the play. Well, we said in one of our keys, early and often, it would be good to strike early here. Maybe put a crooked number on the board against this young lefty.
It's up and in to Bregman. Harrison ready. And the 1-1. 2 balls and a strike now. Horner's out there at second. Cubs looking to strike first. Fly ball drilled left center field. And Mitchell is there to make the catch. Nico, safe! Wow. And a close play.
What's going to be, Murph?
They're going to look at it.
Milwaukee is challenging the safe call at third base.
Corey Blazer, the crew chief, coming in. They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Can't really tell there when the tag is applied. Jansen Visconti, the third base umpire, right on top of the play.
Hamilton slapping the tag down. I mean, my sense is that he's being tagged before the hand is contacting the base. But we don't have a look on the other side.
I like the aggressive play by Nico to try to get to third base with just one out.
Absolutely. All right, let me ask you this. Looking at replay, let's wait to hear what they have to say. Hang on one second.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. The runner is out. Milwaukee retained that challenge.
So we got that late look.
It was a heck of a throw. And tag applied to the shoulder just before the hand gets to the base.
And again, back in New York, they can do the mosaic and marry the looks and the timing. And so Horner is out.
Mitchell has a very strong throwing arm. He just showed it off. On another day, that ball that Bregman hit might fly out of here, but not tonight, the way that wind is blowing. And you see Mitchell gets behind that ball and gets off a good strong throw. One hop right on the money.
Pat fouls it away.
I think, wind blowing in probably favors the Brewers style of play because they're far less home run dependent than the Cubs are.
Are last in the majors in homers hit and 28th in slug. Swing and a miss. Harrison able to get half, and the lefty faces the minimum.
Better job controlling the run game than he has in years past. If I have my numbers right, in his last couple starts, he's had a pickoff in each of those. If you go back to his career, he's only had one pickoff before joining the Cubs. So I talked to Ryan Flaherty, I've talked to Edward Cabrera, I've talked to Carson Kelly about this, and this was a big focus for Cabrera in spring training, because when Flaherty was describing, look, you've got a big guy, but he's got good feet and he's athletic. And when you're an opposing team and you don't get a lot of hits off of him, what are you going to try to do? Make stuff happen on the base pass. So this guy, he's trying to prevent that. And so what we have seen is there's this drop glove pick. So Carson Kelly, he will signal to Cabrera when to turn, make that throw to first. So there is teamwork that's happening here, communication from the bench to the players. Just, we know this Brewers team, they like to run. So keep an eye out in this game in order to prevent taking extra bases. Cabrera trying to do what he can to prevent that as well.
All right, so we'll be on the lookout for that. Cabrera's dealing with base runners right here. He fires down and in. The changeup missing. Ball to strike to Jake Bauers. It'll be Bauers, then Frelick, then Ortiz. No score. We're in the second. Cubs trying to salvage the finale of this three-game set. Curveball there, and now it's 3-1.
Kind of nice with the way that wind is blowing in. You could be aggressive in these hitters' counts.
Up the middle, waiting on it is Swanson. And there's one away. Time now for American Family Insurance Home Protection. How about best win percentage at home? Only the Rays and the Yankees are better than the Cubs, even with losses the last couple of nights. Craig Counsell, before game one, I asked him, all right, so what are you happy about? What are you excited about? And he said, I'm excited to be back at Wrigley. And I think that's a feeling these guys have.
There's no place like home, said Dorothy Gale.
Is that Dorothy's last name?
Yeah. Little girl from Kansas.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things I know. I don't know how or why, but
Okay.
What's Murph got going? Catcher's interference, I think they are claiming.
Milwaukee is challenging the call of no catcher's interference.
I don't think so. I mean, unless he hit the string of the glove.
I think he did.
Oh, come on.
Catcher's interference, a specialty for Sal Frelick. He leads the league with 3 of them already this year.
There's always a few guys around the league that, you know, the nature of their swing is such that who's the guy years ago, a few years back, played for the A's, played for the
call in the field is
Astros.
overturned. There was catcher's interference. The batters weren't at first base.
Wow.
Milwaukee will retain their challenge.
Man. Well, Tommy La Stella here with the Cubs, right? Tommy was, I would say, pretty adept at it, but it's not something you try to do. I mean, the bat, it looked like it hit the string of the net, right? I mean, you didn't see the mitt deflect or move at all.
Runner takes off, no throw.
Well, that's the other piece of it. Elise talked about the pickoff and working on the pickoff move, but just holding base runners has been an issue for Edward throughout his career. Last year, base stealers were 35 out of 39 against him, and now Craig Counsell, he's got a beef.
A lot of activity early on. Well, you can see
interference on the hitter.
No, he's saying I have foul tip, but I think that they were giving him. Okay. I think he's saying foul tip. He secured it.
And Craig is arguing that he didn't secure it. I think the umps are saying, yeah, he did. He was trying to make the transfer and was throwing hand when it got loose.
Dropped it on the transfer. Yeah. So it was a foul tip. That's a tough break right there. But I think the correct call.
Yeah, I think they got it right.
So man at second. And the pitch missing to Ortiz. Ball and a strike on the shortstop. Ortiz with Frelick at second. Joey Ortiz, originally drafted by the Orioles. He came over in the Corbin Burns deal.
Those are the numbers of an old school shortstop. You think back to people of a certain age will remember like in the 60s, there's a bunch of shortstops that couldn't hit a lick, but they could really defend.
Yeah.
It's kind of who Ortiz is. Outstanding shortstop, just doesn't do a whole lot with the bat. He and Hamilton, 8 and 9 in the batting order for the Brewers here tonight, combined for just 5 extra base hits and 278 plate appearances. They can both run. Hamilton in particular, one of the fastest guys in the league. But you don't expect to get a lot of slugging from the bottom of the Brewers lineup. Not tonight anyway. Knock on wood. Why not? A little low. Don't want to walk that guy.
So now to a board, and with 1 out, it'll bring up David Hamilton. Hamilton starting at third base. Cubs and Brewers, there's no score.
Hamilton's got 9 bunt hits already this year.
His tops in the bigs. Bregman in on the grass at third as Cabrera steps off and goes to the rosin bag. Well, we've documented with Cabrera the idea he doesn't throw the ball in the zone a ton. He's got the second lowest in zone rate in the majors. Six straight out of the zone. Carson Kelly will go to the mound, and Tommy Hotovy said, team meeting.
His walks were his undoing last time out against the White Sox. A 4-1 lead going into the 5th inning, and he walked 3 and didn't make it out of the 5th. 2 of those 3 walks came around to score. Deep breath, reset.
Two balls, no strikes. Line drive, base hit out into center field, and it gets under PCA. In to score is Freelick. Ortiz on his heels. Hamilton can absolutely fly. He's coming to the plate, and he's in. And it's 3-0.
What on earth is going on?
Well, you're not used to seeing defense being a thing that costs the Cubs.
Pete made an error on a fly ball last night, clanked it. This time just whiffs on this one. And with the wrong guy running, this ball under the glove and all the way to the wall in center. As we mentioned, Hamilton, one of the fastest guys in the league. And the Cubs need a mulligan.
Single E8. And a single RBI for Hamilton. Center field, PCA makes the catch. That ball Hamilton hit was scorched, 106.1. There's a strike to Turang. Turang A single to center his first time. Here's a 1-1.
Going through a patch like the Cubs are right now, you're looking for that stopper. A guy's going to go out there and just shut the other club down, give you 6-7 innings of maybe 1-run ball. Obviously, that's not going to happen here tonight. A weird inning. Catcher's interference gets it started. Frelick's bat just clips the strings of Carson Kelly's mitt. Then a walk to the 8-hole hitter Ortiz, and the misplayed ball by PCA. And Cubs in this early hole again.
2-2. Out to Swanson, who takes it in. And Turang is out. But the big error by PCA, and it is 3-0. Highest OPS against lefties that's entering today. The Nats, the Yankees, the D-backs, the White Sox, and then the Cubs. Seiya Suzuki's been right in the middle of it.
Yeah, he's got an .832 OPS against left-handed pitching. Second on the club, trailing only Michael Conforto.
Suzuki, then Kelly, and then Bush.
I guess gave you bad intel. Suzuki's got a 910 OPS against lefties, trailing only Carson Kelly.
We actually got a couple of calls.
Yeah. Well, I think I tapped my head. Challenged myself.
3-1 on Suzuki. Harrison. And now 3-2.
Harrison making a commitment to that top rail, isn't he? That four-seamer up, up, up. Pretty good at getting in on the hands of the right-handed hitters with that. The curveball is his best secondary pitch. Also has a changeup.
And that's ball 4. So the leadoff man is aboard here in the bottom of the second. Brewers leading early, 3-0. And now it's Carson Kelly. Kelly doing the catching, and Amaya is the DH. So both their main catchers in the lineup here tonight. Making liner foul.
Amaya's got good numbers against left-handed pitching as well, so maybe that's why Craig Counsell has used both Kelly and Amaya here tonight.
Elise? Okay, I hope the third time is not the charm in this case. We're okay.
I mean, that was right there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just looked down, so I duck and hope for the best.
Yeah, I get it.
mean, your old third base instincts don't come out. You don't try to make a play on that one.
Maybe if I
Come firing out of there and throw somebody out at least. Let's go.
Don't tempt me.
The 1-2. Kelly foul tips that into the mid of Contreras, struck him out, one away.
Again, it's that four-seamer, and he's running it in on the hands of the right-handed hitters. Cubs are facing a pitcher who's got to be feeling pretty good about himself out there. 2.09 ERA coming in. His last 4 starts, 3-0 with a .129.
Anytime you're talking about a strikeout rate of 30% or above, I mean, that's big time stuff. Look at that group he's with. And one of the things that Harrison said was, I'm just trying to keep up with the Miz, and whereas that is a tall task, we got to look at that guy last night. He lived up to the billing.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. He's got what, like a 25-inning scoreless streak going now.
Came in last night with 18 1/3, fired 6 scoreless, so 24 1/3 now from Mizorowski. Bush comes up empty, 2 away.
97-mile-an-hour heater here from Harrison. One from the Giants to the Red Sox in the Rafael Devers trade, and then traded over here from Boston in February. There's the trade.
We saw Drowan the other night. He was impressive.
Yeah. You know, Hamilton's got some upspeed with all that upside with all that speed, I should say.
And they really like Caleb Durbin. I know Pat Murphy was a huge fan, but you got to give to get. And Harrison is a guy that a lot of teams liked a lot, and he appears to have settled in here.
Well, trading Peralta away. Good idea to go out and get a potential top of the rotation arm.
Fly ball left center field, and Mitchell calls off Churio. Leadoff man reaches, but he's left stranded. End of 2, 3-0. Leaded 3-0, and Edward Cabrera will get back to work. It'll be Contreras, Yelich, and Mitchell. Cubs last inning making 2 errors in an inning for the first time this year. One coming on a catcher's interference. All the runs unearned. So a catcher's interference, a walk, and then a single to second. And it went under the glove of Pete Crow Armstrong. And if you're wondering, yeah, if it hits the strings, it is catcher's interference. So
yeah, I'm going to change that rule. I'm going to put a committee together and change that rule.
Well, how about cut your laces?
Or cut your laces. That too. That too.
How's that? It's in for a strike.
I mean, who caught that over in the Milwaukee dugout?
Contreras will take his base.
Cub fans, visit Cubs Trending inside the Marquee Sports app for all the top highlights, interviews, and must-watch moments all season long. Presented by Jeff Vukovich, your local Nationwide insurance agent. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Ball one outside to Christian Yelich. Man at first and nobody out.
Cabrera hunting that ground ball with the sinker. Yelich hits it on the ground a lot. When he hits it in the air, it tends to go far. If you throw a lot of strikes, you get hitters into swing mode. You'll get into chase. If you're working from behind a lot, it's tough to get that chase.
Dancing back in is the catcher Contreras. Cabrera looking to keep it close. 2-1 on Yelich.
That's how Carson Kelly with the flash of the right arm there, the timing play on the pickoff to first. Keeping with Lisa's story earlier. Watch Carson. Watch his right arm. Boom. Go.
We have signals like that. Me and you.
Yeah. Your turn to talk.
You go.
My turn.
Mine. Yelich had a tough night last night.
Lots of swings and misses from Yelich in last night's game.
I think 8.
Struck out 3 times.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Runner on the go, and it skips into center field. Contreras will get up, and the throw too late. Stolen base, E2.
Contreras on the move there just to stay out of the double play because of the ground ball tendencies of Yelich. Kelly, who's thrown the ball pretty well this year, does not get off a good throw here. Way inside. Dansby can't get it. And because of the error, Contreras gets to third base, and the Cubs have to pull the infield in.
Garrett Mitchell at the plate. Swing and a miss.
One of the better changeups he's gotten off here tonight.
A 1-1.
Another good one.
This is a Brewers team that's good at getting on base. They're patient. And even without the slug, so far this year, they've scored. Contreras at third, 1 away, 3-0. And Kelly able to grab that on the backhand.
Back-to-back changeups. First 2 pretty good. That one he pulled. Now the Brewers, I had a note on them during last night's game. They've scored 35% of their base runners, tied for the second most in MLB. Strikeout rate for Cabrera is down this year. You look at his stuff and you think he'd be a big strikeout guy, and he has been in the past. Not so much this year. He's a little bit below average.
And a swing and a miss. Mitchell is gone. There's 2 away. The velocity's down a little bit this year, JD, from last year.
Yeah, about a mile per hour.
His four-seamer was at 95.7. Last year, it was 97. Ball 1. So the sinker and the four-seamer right in line with what he's done this year. But like last year, the sinker was about a mile an hour harder, and the four-seamer 1.3 miles an hour. You take every bit you can get. Red hot hitter at the plate, and Jake Bauers, 1-1.
Michael Soroka was interviewed on Brian Kenny's show today, MLB Now, on the MLB Network, and Brian asked him about velocity. He said, how hard would you like to be able to throw? And Soroka said, as hard as humanly possible without getting hurt. He said, we're all chasing velocity because velocity plays, but I don't want to be hurt. He's had enough of that.
On the ground through the right side hole, and a base hit, and Bauers continues his red hot swinging. He's hit in 11 in a row. He's reached in 21 straight.
Yeah, and recently it hasn't been just one hit. It's typically a couple hits a game for Bauers. And after a couple of big punch outs, he delivers a big clutch hit. Two walks issued by Cabrera tonight, and they both come around to score.
And now it's Sal Frelick. Oh, safe. He took a couple of jab steps towards second, and then in the air right field, Suzuki coming on, and Seiya makes the catch. Brewers add a run or midway in the third, 4-0.
Here, and you're often hear that players, there's this chess match that they go through between the pitcher and, they're playing this game of cat and mouse. Well, this is currently what Miguel Amaya is going through. He's been playing around with his stance. So if you go back to the beginning of last year and then the beginning of this year and then where he's at now, he has been trying to widen his stance. It's kind of a real versus feel idea here, because he felt when he widened his stance he could recognize spin better, identify the pitch sooner, and then so he can start that swing or shut it down if he has to. And he's also standing a little bit closer to the plate, but he's still trying to find that sweet spot, guys, which is just that reminder with hitters, which is this the sweet spot? No thank you, wind. That he's a younger player, still trying to find that groove, and it really never stops, honestly, no matter how old you are in this game. You're always just trying to make adjustments and feel good at the plate.
Well, he's made that one big adjustment where they went from the leg kick to the toe tap, and that
served him well, eh?
I mean, big time.
Yeah.
In for a strike. PCA has gone on strikes.
Nissan Kicks has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy 5 years in a row. Drive the reimagined Nissan Kicks today. Now get up to $1,500 customer cash on Kicks.
Harrison has struck out 4, 2 away, bases empty, and it'll bring up Nico Horner. Ball 1 to Nico, who doubled his first time up. It's down 4-0. They've lost 4 in a row. Oh,
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Beat Nico with a fastball in the zone.
well, coming into tonight, I believe Nico had swung and missed at a pitch in the zone, I think 3 times. In the air, and Mitchell is there to make the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Cubs. Only. That means 4-0. The Brewers lead the Cubs. John Sciambi, Jim DeShays, and Elise Menaker on a chilly night here at Wrigley Field, but it's filled in pretty good. There's Joey Ortiz as Edward Cabrera delivers outside the strike zone for a ball. It's got a giant, we're going selfies with the fur coat and a veggie tray.
Yeah, here comes the trainer. Just the
Oh,
body language by Cabrera after that pitch did not look good.
He's coming out of the game.
Just has that look. Something's bugging him, and pitching injuries for the Cubs this year have been unbelievable.
So Cabrera out of the game, and we've got a pitching change.
Well, I'm not sure what that counts was signaling with that, looking out towards the bullpen, holding his fingers the way he was.
Got to get some length now here tonight, and we'll see. It's going to be Thornton. So he'll get as much time as he needs.
Well, the good news is the Cubs have an off day tomorrow, so going through their bullpen tonight, have a chance to regroup tomorrow before the weekend series with the Astros. Thornton worked in last night's game through 20 pitches.
Pitching change, Trent Thornton into the game. Back after this.
To see when you're a manager, but Edward Cabrera has left the game after 1 pitch in the 4th. Trent Thornton has come in, but this was a look last half inning. So before Edward Cabrera goes out, you can see the athletic training staff with Cabrera. They're talking to him. There's also Tommy Hotovy, and so something is being sorted out. Then after some conversation, he goes down underneath into the tunnel, does come back out, throws that pitch, then obviously something is still nagging him, guys. So that was kind of the situation that unfolded before he went out.
So as soon as we have information on the nature of Edward Cabrera's injury, we will pass it along, but the hits just keep on coming. Pitching change brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.
I mentioned that Trent worked in last night's game. He gave up a 2-run homer to Bryce Terang, but overall, he's been solid through 5 appearances, 6 innings, and an ERA of 3. That's a veteran who's been on the big league scene since debuting with Toronto back in 2019. .240 career games and a lifetime ERA of 4.36. Fastball, cutter, curve, slider. Throw both a 4 and a 2-seam fastball.
4-seamer will sit about 95. And he pumps in a strike. Ortiz, Hamilton, and Chourio. Brewers lead 4-0. Thornton ready. The kick, the 2-1. To Dansby Swanson, who fields and throws him out. Time now for the advanced metrics powered by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. And in terms of offenses, the top ground ball rates in baseball, the Brewers 1, and then the Pirates are 2. JD, is a general idea, it's usually not where you find the good offensive teams, but the Brewers are 5th in the majors in runs per game, and the Pirates are 7th. The Red Sox are 29th. Usually, high ground ball rate for an offense is not the ticket to a successful offense.
No, and I think, you know, not doing a deep dive, I think the speed of the Brewer team helps mitigate that a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Last year they were big and among the leaders in infield hits, bunt hits. I believe they also scored, and again, this is just, you know, correlation, not causation. I'm pretty sure they had the most unearned runs scored. You got to figure speed factors into that. On the ground, Bregman gobbles it up.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know. I'm not sitting in meetings with the Brewers front office as they make decisions about their roster construction, but typically fast guys that don't hit a lot of home runs aren't as expensive as big guys that hit a lot of home runs. So maybe it's, you know, maybe that's a consideration too for a small market team. This guy does both. He hits home runs, steals bases.
The 0-1. Jackson Chourio, who signed back in 2021 as a 16-year-old. They gave him a $1.9 million signing bonus. And then in December of 23, before he ever played a major league game, they guaranteed him $82 million. Fly ball right field. Suzuki back track near the wall, and he makes the catch. Brewers go 1-2-3. Nice work by Thornton to come in and replace Cabrera.
An update for you on Edward Cabrera, who left the game in the top of the 4th, and we now know what was nagging him. That is a right middle finger blister. So you can see after the pitch, he'll look down at that hand, and now we know it's that right middle finger. There is a blister on it, guys.
That's something he's dealt with in the past.
Last year he went on the IL with a blister issue and an elbow issue. Cabrera has been on the IL 8 times in his career, so it's not a new thing. It's curveball this year hasn't been quite as sharp. That makes you wonder a little bit if those things are connected. Bregman left field. And Chourio has it.
Well, finally somebody else gets to play for the Brewers. All the outs prior to that one were recorded by Harrison with strikeouts or Mitchell in center field. Got 4 fly balls, and he threw Nico out at third in the first.
Time now for Range Rover, engineered to win. And so guys this year have scored 35 or more runs, have 35 or more walks, and 10 or more homers. Judge, Wood, and Happ. That's it.
That's the 35 plus, 35 plus, 10 plus club.
Swing and a miss, and Happ is going on strikes.
Yeah, second time he has struck out, and both times coming on that curveball from Harrison.
Oh, 1-6. Cubs have 1 hit, and it was their first batter of the game, Nico Horner, with a double. And the only other base runner, Seiya Suzuki, walked to lead off the second.
Struck out 13 times in last night's ball game. That tied a season high for them for a 9-inning game. And Harrison's got the strikeout pitch working here tonight. And no surprise. I mean, he came in with a 30% strikeout rate, among the best in the game.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Kyle Harrison on point. He's got 6 strikeouts, 4 shutout innings, 4-0. Top 5 back here at Wrigley. And Bryce Turang. That sweeper in for a strike. By the way, the mariachi group that did the national anthem tonight.
Spectacular.
You gave me a real good scouting report. You heard them rehearse, and I thought they nailed it.
Yeah, they were wonderful.
One of our best anthems.
I would seek them out. I'm gonna go find them performing somewhere.
Yeah.
Mexican Heritage Night here at the ballpark.
Thornton, the 0-2.
Good try. Yeah, take a look.
They'll challenge it.
Pitchers call the ball. Catcher's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Carson Kelly got him.
Pitchers strike. Chicago, 2 challenges remaining.
And Turang is out. William Contreras here. mentioning since 2023, and only Raleigh is better. And that, of course, includes just his time with the Brewers. He came over in December of 22 from Atlanta. Contreras has gone on strikes.
If you think today was hard, try living one day in this man's life. Liam's had 5 heart surgeries. Let's go, Liam!
One of my best days ever.
Nice work by Trent Thornton. Got all 5 guys that he faced, and we've got a pitching change brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. It's Hobie Milner time.
Cubs Charities 50/50 raffle tickets. Get your ticket now through the end of the game at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador here at the ballpark through the 8th inning. We promised you at least $50K, and we're up over $80,000.
Nice. Strike 1 to Christian Yelich.
Obi-Wan Kenobi on for the 22nd time. Sporting a 2.08.
Brewers up 4-0. And they've out hit the Cubs 4-1. Yelich 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout. Center field, shallow, PCA. Odds brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Carson Kelly coming up to hit. Hawkins has entered the fray and will take over in center field. Swing and a miss. Fouls it back.
Good lively fastball. That went at 97 in towards the hands. It forces a right-handed hitter to kind of go early, and then you become vulnerable to that slow breaking pitch.
Swing and a miss. Time now to play mound balls, presented by Tasty Trade. And if the ball stays on the mound, Cubs season ticket holder Bill Scroogey would have won the $1,000 Tasty Trade jackpot. Unfortunately, it did not.
Or Bill.
Tasty Trade, stocks, options, futures, crypto.
I think he does get the home version of mound ball as a parting gift.
To the right side, Terrain. Bush is out. So, JD, what is it about this guy that makes him so good? He's a 2-pitch pitcher, and his fastball, just velocity-wise, not talking about the properties of it, is right at about the league average, a smidge under 95.
Yeah, well, tonight we've seen a lot of 95 to 97, so he's capable of dialing it up. He's throwing as hard as 98 miles per hour this year. So
there's one.
There's one at 98. So I think there's probably nights where he goes out there and has his best stuff, and this apparently is one of them. But again, it's that it's that ball out of hand that looks so good to the hitters because they see it, but it's very difficult to square it up. I mean, he's just beating him in the zone.
Indeed. Harrison cruising, 5 shutout innings, 8 punch-outs.
Prevision memorable moment. San Francisco on this day, 2016. Jason Hayward, made that diving catch on Denard Span in the first inning. Jake Arrieta, who won his 19th straight decision, said something like that. I'm at a loss for words. That's an amazing catch. The Cubs would beat the Giants 8-1. And another note from this game, guys, Ben Zobrist, he homered into McCovey Cove, becoming the 38th opposing player and the second Cubs hitter with a splash hit. Can you guess who was the first Cubs hitter?
With a splash hit.
I want some time on this.
CP or the initials?
Oh, I know. I'm going to recuse myself.
What?
Yeah, I got it. The initials gave it to me.
Okay. Does that you don't want to guess then?
Okay. Corey Patterson.
Yeah, you did guess.
And to be a splash hit out there, right, it's got to be on the fly into the cove. Can't bounce in.
Getting his first opportunity to hit after taking over in center defensively in the bottom of the 5th. 2-2. Foul tipped into the mitt of Carson Kelly. It's a strikeout.
2 up, 2 down for Milner after 5 in a row, retired by Thornton. Cubs try to hang in there and hopefully can figure out something against Harrison, maybe get into that bullpen, but it does not look promising right now the way Harrison's throwing the ball.
It's Jake Bauers' RBI single. Now hit in 11 in a row. Bush on the backhand, it's over.
Yeah, Bauer's performance has kind of relegated Andrew Vaughn to the bench with Yelich getting healthy, taking over as the DH every day. Somebody's got to sit, and Vaughn has lost playing time despite having really good numbers.
center field. Beautiful shots from our Megalodon camera powered by Nissan. Visit nissanusa.com or your local dealer. Bottom of the 6th, and here's Miguel Amaya. JD, the Miz and Harrison the last 2 nights. You talk about dominating. 11 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 16 strikeouts, and 2 walks.
Yeah, it's been pretty darn impressive. A challenge here coming from Amaya.
Batter's challenging.
Amaya challenging. And it's a strike.
Pitch is a strike. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
So the Cubs lose a challenge, have 1 remaining. Line and past the diving Hamilton in foul ground.
He's explosive. He almost got that ball.
Oh my gosh.
Good look at him bouncing up into the ready position, and then the quick first step. Everything about this guy is quick.
Here comes a 1-2.
I bet you can't eat a marathon bar quick.
A what?
I remember that was an old candy bar, the marathon bar. Your challenge, you can't eat it quick because it's so chewy.
Maya down on strikes.
This is a really impressive performance by Harrison here tonight. No doubt frustrating for the Cub hitters and for the Cub fans watching this, because they look pretty anemic right now. But this is lights out stuff. It's been a run of really good pitching the Cubs have been up against here. DeGrom, Sale, Davis, Martin, The Miz, and now Harrison, all in the last 10 days.
Well, time now for the Intelligence Center powered by CDW and HP. Highest strikeout rate by team. And the Brewers lead the majors. And so you go Brewers, Dodgers, Guardians, but those are 3 of the better teams out there. Check swing, did not go. JD, they still making marathon bars?
I have no idea.
UCA down on strikes. Downstairs, and Elise Menaker.
You know, and I was curious about the Brewers pitching before the game, because I remember reading an article before the year just how they're young, and Harrison is one of those guys. So Murphy told me in particular with him, they moved him over on the mound closer to first base because he was describing how, look, his heater is good, but it can be flat. And so they found that when he moved over that different angle, it just plays a lot better, and it kind of recalibrated his breaking pitch, and they've worked with him on that changeup. He really hasn't needed it tonight, but if he can add that to his arsenal, and of course that's another strength. I mean, you just look the way he attacks the strike zone. It's just, you know, what these guys do.
Yeah, moving over on the rubber is something that has helped him with his angle in attacking right-handed hitters.
You have to make sure you stay closed and drive if you're trying to throw that fastball in. Keep that front shoulder closed and really commit to making that pitch in toward the hands. And then the other piece of it too is the misses before from his old position on the rubber will kind of drift out over the heart of the plate. Now a lot of the misses are just off the plate. They're balls instead of hittable fastballs. But I can't think of a pitcher we've seen this year get as many swings and misses in the strike zone with that fastball.
Corner lifts that to right. Freeland coming on. 6 shutout innings for Kyle Harrison. He has been in command. Purchase an NALS t-shirt from Obvious Shirts at ivyshop.com. All proceeds benefit Project Main Street, a nonprofit dedicated to assisting those living with ALS. Head over to Ivy Shop to get yours now and wear it on Lou Gehrig Day. It's coming up June 2nd. We're going to start our auction that day. JD, I got a donation, a signed Lou Gehrig baseball.
Oh, my.
Is going to be part of that auction. And then Suzuki makes the catch on the Ortiz liner. What else do we have? We got the guys from Pearl Jam signed a guitar.
Yeah, wow. That'll be highly coveted.
That print of yours, I still got to get you to sign. By the way, it's the welcome to the broadcast booth, brought to you by Budweiser. Cubs fans for under 50 years. This Bud's for you. I'm trying to think what else.
Have a lot of Cub guys.
I mean, tons of Cub stuff. One of the things that's really cool is Scott Paulson from Wilson made me a Dansby Swanson model Wilson glove with a stamp of NALS in the air right field towards the corner. And that is a fair ball. Hamilton on the move, and he's in there. Wow, does he fly?
Well, he circled the bases earlier in the game on that single that got by PCA. And this time all the way into the right field corner. Sea's there and kind of lost his concentration as he neared the wall. Hamilton with a bid for his first home run comes up just a little bit short. These are the deepest corners in Major League Baseball, and Seiya takes his eye off the ball for a moment and pays for it.
I think it got him in the chest. And that one all the way to the backstop. Here comes Hamilton. And it is all Brewers here tonight. 5-zip.
Natives are restless. Cubs can't get anything done at the plate tonight, and it's been sloppy at times in the field. Tom worked a 1-2-3 ninth inning in last night's ball game.
I don't know. I'm assuming they scored that a wild pitch, but that feels a little bit like it's on both of them, right? I mean,
yeah,
he needs to throw a better
50,
pitch,
50.
and Amaya's got to, or I should say, Kelly's got to stop that. Yeah, it's a tough night, and not used to seeing the Cubs defense be so shaky. Three errors tonight by the Cubs, plus a wild pitch.
And even though that play in the right field corner was not easy, all that Seiya probably should have caught.
Churiel will take his base. And now it's Bryce Terang. One out, man at first. Brewers lead 5-0.
Baseball is such a peculiar game, right? Cubs rattle off two 10-game winning streaks, a 15-game home winning streak, and on the heels of that, they've just gone into this funk or nothing's going right.
The 0-1. Terang is singled, grounded to short, and struck out looking. One out, man at first. Maitan. The kick, the 1-2. Terang is down on strikes.
Cub fans, stop by the Motorola Razor Room in Gallagher Way before the May 22nd game for your chance to pick up a free Alice and Wonder Cap, and check out the new Motorola Razor. For more details on this space, visit Cubs.com/Motorola. So that would be Friday's affair with the Astros.
That's right. We'll be here. Oh, no, we won't.
No, it's an Apple TV.
That's an Apple TV game.
The nerve of them to come in here and take a Friday afternoon game.
Yeah, that's no good. Yeah, again, Friday's game against the Astros on Apple TV. The post game, though, still right here on Marquee. Join us after the game for Cubs post game live, presented by Yingling. Swing and a miss.
Astros may be here in town already. They played an afternoon game in Minneapolis this afternoon. Astros are scuffling.
Maitan. That one outside.
Twins beat the Astros 4-1 today. The Astros now 20-31. In that very mediocre American League West.
Yeah, it has not been good. The other way, and that's a base hit. Suzuki will pick it up, and Contreras reaches base for the third time. His second hit, 2 hits and a walk.
Athletics the only team at 500 in the West. Everybody else with a losing record.
Greg Counsell out of the dugout, takes the ball from Phil Maitan, and we have a pitching change. It is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Key Sports Network is brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. By Prevagen, made for the brain. And by Wintrust, different approach, better results. Wrigley all lit up as here tonight on a chilly evening. The Brewers have the lead. It is 5-0. Ryan Rollison delivers. Christian Yelich swings and misses.
Yelich was looking breaking ball there. Pitch was kind of up and in. As one of those bad pitch, good results for Ryan, on for the 12th time at a 4.38 ERA. He's given up 3 home runs.
Yelich lays off that time.
Walk off on the south side the other day to Caro.
The 1-1.
Talked with Craig Counsell the other day about Rollison, and he told us he's bullish on the young left-hander. Likes his stuff. Good lively fastball, good breaking pitch. Give him a little bit of a look here, and could end up being an important piece in that bullpen.
Up the middle, Horner grabs it. Oh, and he got him. Nice play, Nico. And it's time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Budweiser. For 150 years, this Bud's for you.
Tonight's game.
¿Dónde está la raza de Wrigley Field? Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, or it's root for strikes, you're out for the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
As Harrison continues to roll, and there's a start. Leadoff knock for Bregman here in the home 7th. Time now for the Xfinity high-speed play. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price. Nico, outstanding play. Jump throw. Gets Yelich by a step. Xfinity, imagine that. And that's where the Cubs have been a little bit off defensively. Nico makes a spectacular play. Great rendition of the stretch, and those guys are big Cub fans.
Oh my gosh.
Harrison has had Ian's number here tonight. He's punched him out both times. The finishing pitch each time, that good curveball. He's got some opportunities now. He can go back with that bender or elevate the four-seamer.
Down on strikes for the 3rd time.
Folks, score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Cubs, the official source for your Chicago Cubs gear. Memorabilia. I got your memorabilia. Memorabilia. Can't we just go souvenirs? Merch. They got your merch.
They got your merch.
You know, you asked me earlier about Harrison, what makes him effective. I think the other piece of it too is the arm slot. It's kind of a lower arm slot, and it's kind of like what Managa has going. He's not as short as Shota, but it's similar. And he's got, you know, a lot more juice on his fastball than Shota does.
Sure. Yeah, but when you're talking about down that low, you start to talk about vertical approach angle, right? And
the deceptive riding fastball up in the zone. Had a 12 strikeout game earlier this year. We got 11 so far here tonight.
Northern California kid. Suzuki hits this one a mile into the air. Ortiz. And there are 2 outs. Six and 2/3, longest outing of the season for Harrison. One more out would match a career high. William Contreras just going out and saying,
"You're saying you're probably coming out after this inning, so empty the tank." Chad Patrick up in the bullpen.
Ball right field. That one, wow, wind just pushing it. Foul and out of play.
Yeah. Pirates and Cardinals are playing, and the Buccos have a 3-0 lead, middle of the 6th in St. Louis. Patrick cranking it up.
That was loud.
Cardinals are one of the surprise teams in baseball this year. Came into play tonight, tied with the Cubs, a half game behind Milwaukee. Are you familiar with this whole tarps off craze that's
I am
bouncing around?
I am. So we drove home. You remember we drove home from Wright Field on Friday night, and we listened to the Cardinal game, and they ended up walking it off in extra innings. Popped up, foul ground. Bowers has it. You remember, just off the natural sound, you could hear those fans going crazy in the background.
Yeah, the kids are all the young guys are ripping their shirts off and waving them in the air.
Yeah. Top of the 8th, and it's our game summary presented by Wintrust, and the Brewers with a 5-0 lead. They got 3 runs in the second, imparted an error by Pete Crow Armstrong. Harrison, sensational 7 shutout innings. And if you're just joining us, Edward Cabrera left in the 4th with a blister on his right middle finger. I wish there was better news to report. Rollison, the 0-1. Ground ball, shortstop, Swanson. And there's one away. Brewers lead at 5-0. They've out-hit the Cubs 6-2. JD, when you look at Milwaukee, the position playing lineup, it's impressive what they're able to do, but I still would say that the thread and the theme for this group is, how do they keep finding the pitching?
Yeah, last year it was Quinn Priester, right, that seemingly came out of nowhere.
Check swing, and he went, struck him out. They made the postseason 7 times in the last 8 years. 3 straight Central Division titles.
They traded away Corbin Burns. This year they traded away Freddie Peralta. Brandon Woodruff is still here. He's currently on the IL, so their big 3 carried them for a good while. That's no longer the case, but this Harrison kid and Mizorowski coming up through their system. Mizorowski, so yeah, they've been able to replace, make savvy deals.
To the right side, throws out Frelick.
And other partners for Cubs for a Cure, a multi-day fundraiser supporting the fight against cancer. Tune in to 104.3 FM. The Score's 24-hour radiothon simulcast right here on Marquee tomorrow. And then join us at Wrigley Field on Friday to help support the cause. Cubs.com/Cubs for a Cure for more information.
D.L. Hall on for the 20th time.
So sporting a 1.69 ERA. He's had to pitch around some traffic, a lot of walks. 16 walks in 21 and a third innings.
But a bunch of strikeouts.
Yeah.
All pretty good work.
And he came over, we talked about the Corbin Burns deal to Baltimore. He was part of that, coming here to Milwaukee. He's been with the Brewers since 2024. You're talking about the makeup of this Brewer team and the success that they've had, and it's fun. You know, Pat Murphy's a fun guy, and he plays this game like, you know, nobody knows who we are. We're not. We're just kind of a bunch of lunchbox carrying guys. But you know, Turang, Yelich, Contreras, and Chourio, these are really good players. I'm not buying the no-name thing.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Well, look, I mean, if you take the stretch beginning in 18, you said they made the playoffs 7 times in the last 8 years. I mean, for 2 of the years, Christian Yelich was in the conversation for the best hitter in the world. I mean, he had 2 straight years where he was basically peak Mike Trout. And now we talked about how Contreras, besides Raleigh, is the second most WAR since the start of 22.
Yeah, and Turang's turned into a star. Chourio got to the big leagues at the age of 20, and he's put up back-to-back 2020 seasons. We're not buying it, Murph.
Chad Patrick, the righty, getting loose in the pen. There he is. Swing and a miss.
All featuring a real nice change up there. Circle change grip. Perfectly executed.
JD, do you remember earlier this year when I asked you why Miguel Amaya comes to the plate to that Van Halen song?
I do remember that, yeah.
That might have been one of my worst moments.
Yeah.
Maybe ever.
We're all, you know, allowed a little brain cramp from time to time. Amaya's from Panama, folks, by the way, in case you don't know. Panama is blasting away on the speakers. You go, why does Amaya come up to Panama?
That's really like David Lee Roth. To the right side, Turang, second for one. First. That's a pretty nice turn right there. 4-6-3. We'll head to the ninth. We'll go top 9. And Ryan Rollison back at it. Brewers leading 5-zip. The Cubs have not been swept in a series this year. 6 teams. The Brewers haven't done it to the Cubs at Wrigley since 2021. It's going to take a furious comeback. Ortiz fouls it away. Good breaking ball.
It's a good look at the grip, and then good tight spinner lands. You know, Boog sometimes like to go down and look at this date in baseball history. You know,
sure.
Find some good notes. Going way back to 1871, Mort Rogers, who was an umpire, promotions guy, publicist, you know. Did a lot of different things. He introduced a scorecard with a picture of Harry Wright. This was in Boston on the front. And then for each Red Stockings home game, he would put a different player on the cover of the scorecard, you know, when he went into the ballpark. And that was the precursor to the modern baseball card. It evolved into the tobacco cards and then baseball cards. So like you show up in the scorecard and you're like, you know, here's your today's Ryan Rollison day.
Yep. Out towards right center, and PCA makes the catch.
And by the end of the season, you had a scorecard with every player on the team. You could collect them all. Those folks are dedicated fans. They're here every day. Card's way too clean.
Daniel Palencia is going to come in, get some work.
First pitch 120 in the first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a Ryan Sandberg bobblehead presented by Southwest Airlines. Cubs.com/tickets to get your Rhino bobblehead.
Time for a little gasolina.
He's not pitched much since coming off the IL. Just his third appearance in 10 days. Good idea to get a little live game action heading into the weekend.
The 1-0. Cubs got Palencia in the deal that sent Andrew Chafin out to Oakland. He came over with Greg Dyke.
Oh yeah, whatever happened to Greg? Whatever happened to the sheriff? Is he still going?
Drive, and that's a base hit out into left center field, and Hamilton having a night.
Hey folks, you're running out of time. If you want to get in on this 50-50 raffle, Cubs.com/raffle. That'll end at the end of the game. And we're up over $93,000. Let's push that thing up to 100 grand.
The Sheriff is at AAA with the Reds, at least was. He was fun and he pitched really well here.
But as we know, there's only room for one sheriff in town.
And his name,
Sheriff Blake.
is Reggie Hammer. In the dirt, dug out nicely by Carson Kelly. By the way, JD, remember we were talking about Nico and swinging and missing at a pitch in the zone?
Yes.
So into tonight, he had swung and missed 3 times at pitches in the zone that had 205 swings, which is absurd. And out of 129 fastballs in the zone, 0 swings and misses, I think, until tonight.
Until tonight, yeah.
He's pretty amazing.
Remember, we had a note like that on him either last year or the year before. But year in and year out, when you look at that in-zone contact rate, he's among the leaders. You know, the Luis Arise, you know, Stephen Kwan.
Stephen Kwan, no doubt. 2-2. In the air. Suzuki near the stands, and he'll run out of room. Cubs with 7 strikeouts to help AbbVie's striking out cancer initiative. AbbVie, people, passion, possibilities. Swing and a miss, struck him out, make it 8. That one counts 2.
Overpowers him with a good heater.
How did Carson Kelly pick that?
And a couple here this inning. Good hands, eh?
Two balls, no strikes on Terang. Bryce 1 for 4. He struck out a couple of times. And the pitch right there. Three and one now. Is ball 4.
Even with the wind blowing the way it is, he didn't want to challenge it with a 3-1 heater. Respect to Turang, huh? 5-0 game, throws 100 miles per hour. I'm going slider.
In a game like this, is there an element? Could he be
working on something? A little bit? Yeah.
Working on something, or even putting something in somebody's head? I don't know.
Well, if I were Greg Maddux out there, I would say, yeah, for sure, putting something in somebody's head.
There he is. He's telling the story about the Brewers' third base coach, Matt Erickson, last night. He was 1 for 6 in his major league career, and the one hit was against Greg. And as they drove home, he and his wife, who was 8 months pregnant, they were going to name their child Mitchell. Oh, Nico gets up, throw back to third. Everybody's safe.
Another outstanding play by Nico, and a good heads-up play too, throwing this ball to third base. He did not have a force, or didn't have an out available at second base or at first. So he tries to sneak one in the back door and almost got his man.
That's a spectacular play. And Tommy Hotovy out to the mound. So now they're loaded up. So they were going to name their son Mitchell, and Matt Erickson and his wife were driving home. She's 8 months pregnant. She says, you know, why don't you name our son Maddox? So Matt Erickson's first child's name is Maddox. He got him on the first pitch. He was 0 for 2, his third at bat of the day, and he went out and said, you know what, I'm going to be aggressive. First pitch, base knock, his only major league hit for Matt Erickson. Side note, by the way, they got back to the clubhouse. They got the baseball, and they told him they were going to get Greg to sign the baseball for him. And when he showed up the next day, the ball was in his locker, and he had a signed baseball that said, "Dear Matt, bleep off Greg Maddux." And then they tossed him the real base.
Yeah. Well, if you're only going to get one, you might as well get it off one of the best ever.
I mean, probably one of the 10 best pitchers ever, right? Swing and a miss. Yelich is gone, and Palencia gets out of the jam. It'll be Cole Wright and Cliff Floyd. It's coming up. If the Brewers end up winning this game, it means the Cubs will have lost 9 of 11 on the heels of winning 20 out of 23.
Yeah, again, baseball is a crazy game, very difficult to figure out. Teams run hot and cold. Sometimes it depends on when you catch a team, which opposing starters they have teed up and ready to go. But clearly it's kind of a team-wide funk now. If they don't score this, I think it'll be the third shutout in that 11-game stretch. It'll be the 8th time that they are held to 3 runs or fewer.
Pitcher's called the ball. Catcher's challenging.
Ball.
Pitches the ball. Milwaukee has 1 challenge remaining.
Cubs have had 4 base runners tonight. 2 of them were eliminated on the bases. Nico was thrown out trying to go from second to third on a fly ball to center in the first, and then double play, erasing Bushy last inning after he had drawn the leadoff walk.
Let's shift back to the overall. So if the Cubs lose tonight, it's 9 of 11. What I would ask you directly is this, and Cubs fans, I would ask you this as well. If I told you through 50 games, the only thing you knew is that they would go 29 and 21, would you take it?
Yeah, for sure.
Me too.
Because if you play at that pace, you're going to win a lot of games. Just it's a weird way that they've gotten there. I think, you know, you rattle off those winning streaks and everybody, oh my goodness, Cubs are the best team in baseball, and Cubs are a good team, but they've got issues, right, with all the injuries to the pitchers.
No doubt.
I'm not so much worried about the lineup, despite this stretch that they're in right now.
Bowers will take it himself. 29 and 21 is a 94 win pace.
That'll probably get it done. But as we often say, if as a fan you want to freak out, by all means.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it's also it's like batting average. The way a season is made, a guy who is a 290 hitter does not get to 290 by hitting 290 in April, 290 in May, 290 in June, 290 in July, 290. He hits 370, and then he hits 120, and then he'll hit 290, and then he hits 312, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember years ago talking to Lance Berkman, who was really rational about a lot of this stuff, and early in the year he's hitting like 350, and he's like, oh man, I got a slump coming. I know it.
To the right side, and Hall gets over. Horner is out. Certainly look forward to them getting healthier, that's for sure. Tonight, Cabrera leaving with the blister on his right middle finger. That's certainly concerning, especially when you consider he was on the IL last season for a blister problem.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful too with those finger issues. If you try to pitch through that, you know, a lot of times you could be putting undue stress on other parts of the arm because you're trying to stay away from that finger, trying to work around it, and that's, you know, better to shut it down.
Did you ever have blister problems?
I did not. Never did.
Two balls, no strikes. Bregman waits. If I told you right now they were going to win 94 games, would you take that?
Yes.
Yeah, I would. Drilled left side and curls foul. I like that chest protector. It's got a little like Basquiat vibe to it. You familiar with his work, JD?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
All right. Hall strikes out Bregman, and that'll do it. Frustrating night at the ballpark. A frustrating beginning to this homestand as the Brewers come in and sweep the Cubs and win it here tonight. The Cubs have dropped 9 of 11.
Fitting way for this one to end with a strikeout. The Cubs struck out 13 times last night, 13 more here this evening, and a chance to regroup with an off day tomorrow and get after the Astros on Friday.
For Jim DeShays, Elise Medeker, and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi. Thanks for watching Cubs baseball here on Marquee Sports Network. Again, your final: Brewers win it over the Cubs 5-0. Tomorrow, an off day for the Cubs. They'll welcome in the Astros on Friday. That game will exclusively air on Apple TV, and the postgame will still be right here on Marquee Sports Network. Join us after the final out. Up next, Cubs postgame live. It's Cole Wright and Cliff Floyd. Guys, it's yours.
Well, thank you very much, Boog. And when you have 2 hits and 3 errors, that's a recipe for not winning, Cliff. Can't do that.
No, you can't do it, and it was ugly. I mean, flat out. You know, it's not much to really say other than go to break and let's try to break this stuff down.
Well, that's exactly what we'll do. Cubs postgame live. We're bouncing back in a flash. We're going to break everything down on what